I honestly had no intention of not going live for the last 3 weeks. How you guys doing? I'm Sean. Sean in Alaska. It is awesome to see you all once again on a live. It's been, like I said, about 3 weeks. I think I called off the St. Patrick's Day one because there was a few other Alaska channels that were all going live together, and so I said, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm not going to go live, and then I got sick. So here's what I like to do for those that aren't in the lives all the time. I like to go back at the very beginning, read every single comment, say hello to everybody. If I miss saying hello to you, say hello to me again. And then if I miss one of your questions, I like to answer everything in order, top to bottom as I see it on the screen. Don't hesitate to ask the question again. Maybe ask it in all caps a second time. And after that, just don't worry about it, because if I've already answered it, when I get to it again, I'll just skip over it. With that said, JD, what's happening, brother? It is awesome to see you. Joe Montano, glad you can make it, brother. Good to see you as well. Susan, how are you doing today? We need to get out and do some fishing. That'd be a ton of fun. Charles and Annalyn from the Philippines, how are you guys doing today? Angie! Angie and Beamer are checking in. Clouds rolled in. Otherwise, we've missed. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It was crazy weather in from the last video with the windstorm that we had come through here and tear everything up. And then yesterday, I'm working on installing the cabinets in the kitchen and the countertop, and I get everything done. It's like 5 o'clock, and I go, "This is nice. I'm going to go outside and sit down." I look outside, and it's snowing. I'm like, "This is crazy," but it didn't stick much. It's pretty much done. Winter is pretty much on its last leg, gasps and all. Squeeze me, what's happening? Good to see you, my friend. Ed Case, how are you doing tonight? Smiley, Konosatatu Lad, how are you? Genova, welcome. Glad to see you today. You made it to my live. You didn't miss them for the last couple of weeks because I wasn't on. And O'Brien, also in Ireland. It is awesome to see you. I hope you guys are staying safe. I know you got some big storms hitting you, like two at once from what I was seeing. So be safe by all means. Sunshine, good to see you. Awesome to have you here today. You've got 40 degrees and sunny in Kenai, and I think I've got. I'll tell you 1 second. Hang on. I got 43 degrees here right now. So yeah, it's gorgeous, and just kind of mixed puffy clouds. Jay and Jen, what's happening? The legends, how are you guys doing? It's good to see you. Jim and Woolly Rhino Adventures, what's happening? Get Alaska warmed up. You're starting your drive back up on April 17th. Very cool, Jim. Very cool. Jill, welcome. Glad you can make it today. Carol L., it is great to see you. Scotty at Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. What's happening, brother? Matt AK, great to see you. The man, the myth, the legend himself. The man on the street. What's happening, Al? Great to see you. Great to see you. Eves, glad you can make it today. There's the other half of Sunshine. Warren, how you doing, man? Going in hot. Great to see you. How many trees in total did I lose in the windstorm? I probably lost about, I don't know, maybe 10 on the property here. The one big one right out front. And you know what? Like I said, Saturday I parked my truck over by the trailer because as big as that tree was, I figured, it's not going to hit the truck if I'm parked over there. But it decided to snap the other way. But it would have, if it would have fallen this way into the truck, it would have done some damage. Anthony Jaster, what's happening? Your uncle was just here about 5 minutes ago, man. Tuning in a short time before heading over to a friend gathering. Wanted to say hi. Awesome to see you, my friend. Do I have my solar eclipse glasses? No, we're not going to see a solar eclipse in Alaska. 39 in Wisconsin. I'm still live right now, Philip. Awesome to see you, my friend. Navy Dave, what's happening? It is great to see you. Greetings from Maine. Watching the eclipse tomorrow, trying to avoid the crowds. I've seen them before. It's not a big deal to me. It's 90s in the Philippines. Ouch. With no rain. Yeah, you guys should. Yeah, when it dries out over there, that's bad. So we'll give you a quick update on what happened. So like I said, I didn't go live on St. Patrick's Day, mainly because I just wanted to, the other channels were going live with a big group thing for a couple of hours, and I just wanted to do corned beef and cabbage and just relax and enjoy that holiday. That's a wonderful holiday for me. I love St. Patrick's Day. So I have a routine. I do the corned beef, cabbage, carrots, potato. I watch The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, and I just kick back and relax. So then I think it was Wednesday of that same week. Went to bed and I thought, man, I'm a little bit warm, but I'm not bad warm. I just, kind of felt all snuggly warm when I laid down in the blankets. And I woke up Thursday and I don't know what hit me, but it hit me like a freight train. So then I had to go into work anyway because I have to adjust a milk order and it only goes out 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday. So I drove into town, punched in, worked for 30 minutes to adjust a milk order. And it's a good thing I did because it's always wrong. It's an automatic order that never comes right. And then I said, I'm done. And I came home and I was off on Thursday. I was off on Friday. Then I had the days off Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday, I was starting to feel a bit better, but I hadn't gotten anything done. So I just opted not to go live that day. And then I got hit with a cough. And that, I don't know where it came from, because literally the sick part was just achy and tired. But by Monday and Tuesday, I was just hacking my lungs up. And the cough finally went away probably about Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So, oh, and then there was the other Sunday where we had the windstorm, and I just wasn't going to try and go live because power was out everywhere. Lines were down everywhere. Connections for the internet were just a mess. They were terrible. So yeah, that's where I've been. Hope you guys have been doing well. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. Hope you had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Hope you guys have just had a wonderful time. Todd, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you. It's in the mid 70s, Philip says, in Missouri. Nice. CK, good to see you. I'm feeling much better. Been getting a lot done too, which is nice. So I won't give you guys a sneak peek. That'll be next week's video. But the cabinets for the kitchen, the first 2 sets, completely installed. Went and bought the countertop. Countertop's installed. Just finished oiling the top of it with mineral oil. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Oh God, it's nice. So I need to go ahead and finish the inside of the cabinets. And what I've opted to use, I think I mentioned it in last week's video, is I picked up some Watco tung oil. So I'm going to finish it with a natural tung oil on the inside. And then I was having an issue getting the lumber. So at our local Home Depot here, the local orange store, I can get any kind of nominal lumber that I want. You know, I get 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x10s, not a problem at all. But for some reason, they have a real big issue getting cabinet grade plywood. So I saw the red oak in there. So I decided, because they had a whole pallet, a whole slip full of red oak. And I decided that's what I'm going to go with on the cabinets. And I said to myself, I should just buy a couple more sheets right now. And I didn't, because I didn't want them just sitting in here in the cabin. And by the time I went to buy it again, I couldn't get any. They were completely out, and they don't know when they're going to get it again, which drives me absolutely insane. Because honestly, I only have 1, 2, maybe 3 cabinets left to build, and one set of drawers. And then all the cabinets will be done in the kitchen. And I kind of really wanted to get it done, but supply and demand, right? Well, so then I got to thinking last week, I go, well, I wonder if Lowe's has it. We don't have a Lowe's here, but we have Lowe's in Anchorage. So I jumped on Lowe's app and I looked, and they've got a ton of it. And not only that, but it's a lot cheaper than what I'm paying here at Home Depot. So I got a buddy going up on Friday, and he said, I'll pick some up for you. I might have him pick me up a couple more sheets so I can get back at it. Because after seeing the first set of cabinets in, I can't make the doors for the cabinets until I get more plywood. But after seeing the first set of cabinets going in, I want to make all the cabinets now. But yeah, awesome. Destiny Fitzgerald, it is great to see you. Awesome to have you here today. Henry Leslie, Vermont, welcome, my friend. It is great to see you. Groovy Moose Cabin in Alaska. That's a name I haven't seen before. Welcome. Good to have you here. Jillian, welcome. I can't believe, Jillian, that you have never had a waffle. She left a comment on the video for Friday saying she'd never had a waffle. And I'm like, I thought waffles were international because they come from Belgium. I mean, Americans didn't invent waffles. They're delicious. I love waffles. Or as I like to call them, a butter delivery device. They're yummy. They're yummy. Sandollar J, how are you doing? Do I buy tickets for the Nana Ice Classic? No, I don't. I don't get into that. I think Angie does in here in the chat right now, but I don't even buy lottery tickets. I have the worst luck with that kind of stuff in the world. Steve Grounds, how are you doing? It is great to see you. Destiny, my cabinets are coming along. Can hardly wait to see them. You're gonna like it. You know what? I'm really excited with how they turned out. And I made mistakes. I'm not gonna lie that I was not. Man, when you're doing cabinets more than anything I think I've ever made, and that's not much, right? Because I'm relatively new to all this woodworking stuff in general, building and everything. There's no room for error. You don't fix stuff with trim like you do when I'm putting my kitchen ceiling in, and I'll say, I'll just put a piece of trim up there and cover it. You don't get away with that on a cabinet, not the European style that I was making with no face frame. So yeah, I'm still very happy with how they turned out, but I'm going to be a little bit more nitpicky when I'm making the next set. I'm happy with them though. They turned out great. They're really great. Good to see you're men and well, Sean. Just wondering if you're thinking of installing solar panel LED strips mounted under the cabinets. No, probably not, because I already have the LED strips in the ceiling, and I'm not going to do much in the way of upper cabinets. And anywhere that I'm going to have an upper cabinet in the kitchen will not be where the current lights are. So I'll still get all that brightness coming down onto the countertop. So I've never had cabinets that had the lights underneath the LED strip lights, other than the trailer, and I just did that so I could see what I was doing in there because it was so dark. But I probably won't install those. Birdsong, how are you? Great to see you. Or Bird Dog, sorry about that. Thank you, I appreciate it, man. Simon Chan from England, how are you doing today? It is awesome to see you. Awesome to have you here. Ginger, welcome. Glad you could pop in as well. Art at Deep South Alabama. Good to see you, brother. When you coming up, Art? When do you hit Alaska? Because I know you're coming up this spring. Just want to make sure I have some time cut in there. Am I in line to see the eclipse? I don't think we are. I mean, I see a ton about it. But I think it's going from like, I don't know, the maps I thought I saw were like if here's the if this screen is the United States, it's kind of starting down here and going like up that way. And so we're way out of line for it. I think we might see a little bit of a blur, but not much. It's not, like I said, it's not a huge thing for me. Charles Nandolin, are there Waffle Houses in Alaska? No, they're not. I love the Waffle House. Waffle Houses, that was an experience. When I saw, the only time I've ever been in one was in Georgia, and that was an adventure. Did I end up getting those used cell tower batteries? No, but my neighbor across the street, Todd, and he's in here in the chat. Todd picks them up, and they're pretty awesome. I'm looking at some batteries. So one of the things that gets tough with me is like I did that OPS, what is it? Portable power station video from, I basically did a commercial for them, and they sent me the power station. I tested it out and everything. I love it. I use it all the time. But one of the biggest issues with me is I get offers all the time from companies to hawk their wares, to basically say, hey, use our stuff and on your channel, and we think it'd be great for your audience. 90% of that stuff I would never use. And if I would never use it in real life, I'm not going to feature it in a video. But I was working with back and forth with Power Queen, who does lithium iron phosphate batteries. And we had it all set up. They were going to send me a 300 it's a 300 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. But these companies won't ship to Alaska. And it drives me insane. So, I mean, we got all the way to the point of, okay, we're set. Here's what we expect for you to do for us. I told them, here's my plans for the videos that I wanted to do. And then I gave her my address, and that was it. She messaged me back and she goes, logistically, we can't do it. I said, well, let me know if you can. They all want to send it to the lower 48. Do you have a place we can send it to mainland United States, and then you can ship it from there? And I'm not shipping it. It's defeats the whole purpose of it. So with that said, that kind of stopped me from going to buy batteries, because I was looking at the same batteries, the used solar tower cell batteries. But on Marketplace now, there's a guy that's going to be back at the end of the month, and he's got 1255 amp hour. I believe they're Trojans. They're 2-volt batteries, and he's got 6 of them, so I can build a nice little 12-volt system out of that and have a ton of power. And then, of course, I have to set up the solar panels, which I'm probably going to be working on some of that this week, to be able to top that off. But that's kind of the direction I'm going now. I would really like to go with lithium right out the gate, just because when you get into solar, so the easiest way that I can explain it is if I have 100 amp hours worth of lithium iron phosphate, and if you don't understand what amp hours are, that's fine. Just think of the numbers. In order to achieve the same thing, I must have 200 amp hours of either lead acid or gel cell batteries. So I have to have double the amount, because I can only draw these ones down 50% because of battery memory. And the lithium iron phosphate, I can drop almost 100% down. These lithium batteries cost a lot more, but the lifetime and the cycles that you can get out of them is much longer than you're going to get out of these ones. And I could do it with half the battery, or with half the size of the battery bank. So that's kind of where I want to go with it. I kind of went off on a wild tangent there, but yeah. Yeah, see, Angie, I did get tickets for the Ice Classic. I filled them out for 4 other people in the lower 48. Your mom included, I'm sure. And a little bit of Irish greeting back from Smiley. I love it. Henry Leslie, Vermont, working with a hotspot here. Snowstorm took down power and internet. Slow at best. Hello, if I missed you. I every time I go live, it's with a hotspot. I know what you mean there. Okay, Angie saying Alaska is going to see like 5% eclipse. Canadian, what's up, Jerry? Good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. Yeah, Jillian, the eclipse is tomorrow, and you won't see it in your hemisphere. It's a northern hemisphere eclipse and not a southern hemisphere. You need some crazy fellow from northern Michigan to send you maple syrup for their waffles. Gee, now if I knew somebody who actually harvested their own maple syrup, they had a little bottle. I'm a butter guy. I don't put syrup on anything except for my salmon when I smoke it. Other than that, I don't. I do butter on the pancakes. I do butter on French toast. I may sprinkle a little bit of powdered sugar on my French toast, and then I do butter on waffles. But that's the only thing that they're to me. They're like I say. I joke all the time. They're a butter delivery system. Thomas Fry, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could be here today. Lipstick Lodge, Linda, what's happening? Great to see you today. Justin Raindance Bushcraft, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Smiley, my favorite film of all time is The Quiet Man, Sean, but you know corned beef and cabbage is not that popular over in Ireland, more like bacon and cabbage, yes. So corned beef and cabbage is not an Irish dish. It's an Irish-American dish. And Irish and Jewish people kind of lived in the same neighborhoods, and the corned beef came from the Jewish people, and the cabbage was definitely Irish. But yeah, Irish in Ireland up until, I mean, a few years back, maybe 20 years back, they didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day anyway like they do in America. That whole celebration is pretty much started here. MRJ, how are you doing today? Kevin getting better every day, sitting in Wyoming, Three Fingers Macallan, and enjoying the live feed. Nice, I like that. The Macallan Scotch. Thank you, Smiley. I am super happy with how things are turning out. I'm really happy that things are thawing out, though, too, because I've got the plants started. I'm going to start some more today after this live goes. I want to get into the garden. I want to get things going. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting, fun year this year. The Rose Family Vlog from North Carolina. Breakup's pretty mellow this year. For those not familiar with it, we have 4 seasons in Alaska. We have green up, which is when everything turns green. Right? We have brown up. That's when everything that was green turns brown. We have freeze up. That's where everything that was green and then brown is now frozen. And then we have break up, which we're in right now, which means that all of the ice thaws out and you get to see all the dead green and brown from the previous year. So we're in the middle of break up right now, and it's been pretty mild. It's been, not bad at all. My driveway, I haven't had really a whole lot of standing water. We had Lake Apache. I showed that in last week's video, driving through there. We had some water on that. It's all gone. All that water is so what happens is you get a lot of standing water until the ground underneath thaws out. And once that ground underneath thaws out, then the water has somewhere to go. But until then, it just sits. But yeah, it's been pretty mild this year. Frank Short, how are you doing, my friend? Great to see you. Great to see you. Thank you, Thomas. I greatly appreciate that. John, how we doing today? I can see that. I can see you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Maple syrup, soy sauce, garlic, and ginger on the salmon. So I did that dry brine. In the intro video here, you saw what that stuff looks like. And I do like a candy brine. So it's basically just brown sugar and salt. And then it only has to set for about an hour. And then do a quick rinse on it. Put it on the smoker. And then as it's smoking, I baste it with the maple syrup, and it's delicious. Beto, welcome, my friend. Good to see you today. Can't wait to see another video. The cabinet's getting made. Oh, thank you very much, Philip. You have a great evening, too. Next week will be the cabinets being installed, so on Friday. Cheryl Rios, good to see you. Glad you can make it today. And with breakup comes frost heaves. Or remember, yeah, frost heaves are not that bad this year. But again, we had a weird winter. Anchorage got like their 3rd snowiest winter record, in recorded history. They just passed 130 inches. We didn't have that much snow down here. So the storms just kind of went this way and slammed Anchorage and moved up. But yeah, so frost heaves haven't been that bad here this year or anything. So solar, our landlord, which is a government department, are talking about replacing the roof with this new stuff instead of conventional roof. The whole thing will be solar. They do that in parts of California, and it works really well. So as long as you're going to see the benefit from it, then by all means, I think it's a great way to do it if you can get away with it. Reminds me of that episode of Northern Exposure where everyone was going nuts till the breakup occurred. Yeah, I love that show. I love that show. It's on Amazon Prime right now. So if you're an Amazon person, if you've got Amazon Prime and you watch television on Amazon like I do, when I want to see something, you can watch that show. And I'm watching that whole thing from episode 1 all the way through again. I love that show. When you refer to your neighbor across the street, right? Yeah. And it is. He's right across the street, but he's right down the road, and then he's way back there. But he's the neighbor across the street. You should try a smoked meatloaf. Makes perfect leftovers. I might have to give that a try this summer. I'll use my offset smoker. And if Scotty just heard me say that, he'll be excited because I always call it a side box smoker. Henry Leslie, have a great week, brother. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Sandal J, I live in the path of totality here in Texas, but we're going to have clouds and rain. Yeah, so you won't see it. It's like, it seems like when we get our greatest days of northern lights, we can't see them because it's snowing. The weather's terrible. Al's asking, did the deck settle back down once the thaw started? So not yet. And that's because the ground around the front of the cabin hasn't thawed yet. The snow's going away, but the ground hasn't thawed. So as soon as the ground thaws and releases, that'll settle back down. And then when it does, I'll make the adjustments I need to make to stop that from ever happening again. But luckily, like I said, there was no damage done to it. It just pushed the wood up on both sides, but no actual physical damage. Oh, Sandra, you just finished Northern Exposure. Very cool. Always watching Sean Alaskan and catch the YouTuber Rain Dance Bushcraft too. Yeah, I love watching Rain Dance Bushcraft. Jess is awesome. Jess live is a fun live. That is a great live, especially after he hits the first hour mark when he's done and everybody pulls out their little dram and their little McCarran glass and tops off a little bit of whiskey and sips. Just got our solar panels installed. But if the Lecky goes no power, need a generator, government grant to install, so it's all good. The generator, though, yeah. And I'm a firm proponent. I mean, even when I lived in California and I was on the grid and I had all the bells and whistles, if you live anywhere where you have a chance for power to go out, the first thing I would have is a generator, just a small one so you can keep refrigeration going. But these new portable power stations like the Opes that I have here, or Blue Eddies or Eco, whatever they call them. They got a whole EcoFlow. They have a whole bunch of different ones. Those are awesome to have too, because you could just plug them in at your house and keep them topped up and charged. Then when the power goes out, you just go, oops, and you plug your refrigerator into them. I'm a firm believer in having backup on that, because it seems to me the worst part about the power going out is that it never happens when your refrigerator or freezer is empty, right? It always happens when it's full. So then you lose all the food too. And then, like, I know PG&E, sometimes you used to be able to file to get a credit on your bill for the food, but that takes months, and you still don't have your food. Oh, Jess planted some bulbs today. Nice. I like it. So by doing floating stairs for the deck, I think what I'm going to go with is I think I'm going to cut them off right where they meet the edge of the deck again, and where I haven't connected on there. And I think I'm just going to hinge them. I think I'm going to put a couple of heavy duty hinges on there so that as the ground freezes next year, when it comes up, rather than it pushing the whole staircase up, it'll just cause it to rock back a little bit. I think that's the direction I'm going to go. Steve G, what's up? You look thinner in the face. You're losing weight. I look thinner in the face because I don't have a beard. So when I have the beard, my face is like this. But with the beard gone, my face looks a lot thinner. I guess I'm losing weight, but not much. I mean, I feel better now than I felt in a while. I feel better now than I even felt before I got sick. So it's just the time of year. I'm outside. I'm doing more stuff. I'm getting more active. Forrest, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Alcin, which of the power packs that I've gotten? So the only one that I have is that OPES, the OUPES, and it's awesome. There are other ones that probably blow this one away. There are some that have an interrupted power supply. So basically, you would plug that in. Let's say the easiest way to describe it would be you would plug that into your wall, and then you would plug your refrigerator into that, or computers, electronics, whatever. And when the power went out, the switchover is so quick that it acts like there was never a power loss at all. That would probably be the route that I would go. And I would go with something bigger, much bigger. Jay and Jen have tested out some different stuff. So if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, check out, and you're not following Jay and Jen, head over to their channel, Jay and Jen Off Grid, because they've tested out some different stuff that is pretty awesome. I mean, some pretty cool stuff. Suzanne, welcome. Glad to see you. Glad you could be here today. Mike McKinley, how are you doing? Great to see you today. I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Can't wait to see your cabinets installed and countertop. No, actually, that'll be next Friday, because as of an hour before I went live today, I put the finish on the countertop. So I soaked the whole countertop in mineral oil. It's already installed. So the back counter is basically done, minus the doors for the cabinets, because like I said earlier, I'm having an issue getting the plywood for that. I'm probably going to have to go to Anchorage to get it, but that will be next Friday's video. We might get a glimpse of the eclipse here in Ireland, but yeah. Yeah, Jay and Jen they've tested out some nice stuff. And man, he was testing out one. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me right now, but I really liked it. It was a double system, one that plugged into the other. So it had the whole workable part that you plugged everything into, and then it plugged into another battery bank. So it was like an expandable system, which I thought was awesome. And like a bad penny, Joe is back. Kay, welcome. Good to see you. You'll see me in July, and you'll see your son sometime next week, right? I think he's leaving on Wednesday to head down. Oh, so what's been going on in your guys' world? Got any questions? Got any comments? Got any concerns? I'm all caught up. That almost never happens. There's 92 people in here right now, so speak your piece now. Oh, John, some of your stuff's not going through? Huh. Have you been leaving comments? Because I haven't seen any comments on videos from you lately. So I don't know. Sometimes it gets glitchy. I don't pretend to know everything there is to know about this whole YouTube and how it works. But I know that for me, sometimes I find that YouTube unsubscribes me. So sometimes you have to go back and tell it to notify you again. I didn't get notified of my own videos, even though I'm subscribed to my own channel, for months. And now if I go live, like 30 seconds after I click the go live button, my phone notifies me that Sean in Alaska is live. So I don't know how it works. Or forever keep your mouth shut. I'm going to be naughty and ask if your secret's something. Not yet. I'm expecting it in about 2 weeks, though. I'm expecting that in about 2 weeks. Yeah, I was just talking to Todd about that yesterday, as a matter of fact. And that's kind of what got the fire under my butt, to make sure I got that back counter in, because I want to make sure I have room for everything that's about to happen. Oh, about solar that you want to send me. John, shoot me off an email. And it's in my about section. But if you can't find it, it's SeanOwensInAlaska@gmail.com. So yeah, send me off an email about it again. And if it goes to my email, I'll get it, because I check everything. I check the spam folder. I check everything in that account every day. Dave finished installing my DuraVent roof vent in the cabin. Nice. Very cool. You're in Ontario, Canada, and they say we're going to have no power in Ontario for solar eclipse. I hope it doesn't go out. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about, and I got to say that sometimes I just shake my head at people and I go, why? The amount of conspiracy stuff that I have heard in the last 2 weeks about the eclipse blows my mind. This is not the first eclipse we've ever had. I saw a post that's honest to God truth. NASA has a website that will tell you about every solar eclipse that's going to happen until the year 3000. The date, the times, everything. Yeah, I mean, it's a natural occurrence, but everybody's freaking out about everything. Angie, confirmation of the ground thaw. The sump of the house just ran for the first time for the year. Right? Yeah, that's because it finally has somewhere to go. That is awesome. Dewey, how are you from Dublin, Ireland? Nice to see you. Beautiful city. Wonderful, wonderful people. For a big city, I was shocked at how clean it was and how friendly everybody was. But that that's it as an American because our big cities are not like that at all. But it was just a wonderful place to visit. I stayed in Booterstown. My brother and I stayed with uh, a friend of our family whose daughter lived in Booterstown. So we stayed in Booterstown and made that our home base, and then traveled all over Ireland from there in 2019. Greg, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I should try beeswax and mineral oil. I now use pure tongue oil and beeswax. I don't know where you get the pure tongue oil. That stuff is not cheap. I've got the Watco, and I went with the natural. I'll grab the can. I'll show you what it's going to be. Here. So I went with a wipe-on finish that I'm going to use on the cabinets, and it's this stuff. Watco tongue oil. One-step finish, restores and enhances natural wood tone, will not darken with age, deep penetrating, moisture protection, and it's an easy wipe-on. And I don't know, contains mineral spirits. I don't know. I'm trying to see if it has the ingredients. I can't read all those words, but yeah. So I'm just going to use that. I don't know. It's just going to be for the inside of the cabinet. So after I apply it, I'll do a couple of coats and make sure it's all sealed well. Then I'll take a look at it and see if I need to do anything else when it's done. Snicker, snicker. I need more firewood, but I have nowhere to store it. Not sure what we're going to do about that. Here's the thing about firewood. Okay. So even if you have to just store it on the side of your house, not covered, once firewood dries out, short of it soaking in a lake, it gets a little bit wet on the outside edge, but the center's still dry. You can still burn it. It'll dry out really quickly in the house too. So for me, I always, you always keep your big stack of firewood out in the yard. Right? Not here. This is when I lived in my last place in California. I had a wood stove. The big stack's out in the yard. It's all covered and everything else. But if you had wet pieces, you just bring them in and set them next to the wood stove, because that's what we used to do. And then they'll dry out in a day or two. Not a problem at all. It dries out quickly. It takes a lot to get that wood wet all the way to the core again. So is the secret something from Victoria's Secret? No. I would not inflict that pain on any of you. Susan, is crabbing season still on? What about a trip for razor clams? I would like to go across the inlet for razor clams. That would be a trip I would be on board with. That would be a ton of fun. That'd be an all-day trip though, right? Because over there, tide drop, boats on the mud. You're out, you're digging for clams, and you're not coming back until the tide comes back in. So I would be on board for that one. I don't know if crabbing's going on. I think it's probably over by now. I think it usually is January, February, and maybe part of March. But razor clams, I'm in. That would be a blast. True. I just thought that was, I don't know. I just shake my head sometimes. I just, what's the rule for Occam's razor is that the easiest explanation is usually the most likely explanation is the rough answer for Occam's razor. And the one thing I saw that was really funny, and I can't believe that flat earthers exist. And believe me, I'm not slamming somebody for what they want to believe. You can believe whatever you want. I'm that kind of guy. I support you in whatever you want to do. But the coolest comic I saw today was it was a picture of solar eclipse for all of us. And it was, basically, boom, the moon's in front of the sun, and all you see is a little ring around the outside edge. And then it says solar eclipse for flat earthers. And here's the sun with a straight line through it. Anthony, thanks, brother. It's good to chat with you. We'll have to catch up this year. We'll definitely have to catch up and get together this year. It's a nice little one-piece ditty with stockings and garters. Victoria's Secrets doesn't sell kilts. If they sold kilts, I'd probably buy one. That's what you saw on your news channel. I don't watch the news. I am a happy person. And you know what? I sincerely believe why I'm a happy person. I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't care. I came to a personal realization years ago that television news has one goal and one goal only. And it's not political. It's to sell advertising. Because the more people that they can catch, the more they can charge for their advertising. So there's very little news in actual television news, in my personal opinion. So I quit watching it because it just seemed like it would compound one thing on top of another thing on top, and it really gets you down. It gets you gloomy and doomy. And my mom, before she passed away, she used to get so worked up over the news. And I was down there. I'll never forget. I was down there and I was staying with her for like a week or two. And I was at her house. And the news would come on and she'd say, oh, we got to watch the news. We got to watch the news. And I say, yeah, I'm going outside. And then she finally said to me one day, you don't watch the news at all anymore. And I go, no, I have nothing to do with it. I don't care. I have my life to live, my family to take care of. The things that are important to me are not on that television. I don't really watch TV that much. I watch shows, but I don't really watch much television per se. And I told her, I said, if you want to be a happier person, Mom, turn the news off. Don't watch it. Because trust me. She called me back about a month later and she goes, I haven't watched the news since you left. Oh my God, I'm so much happier. But I don't get into that. Negativity feeds negativity, in my humble opinion. But again, if that's something you want to do, then go for it. I just think that I don't waste my time worrying about things that are completely out of my control. There are too many things that are in my control that I have to take care of that keep me busy enough as opposed to worrying about something else. I was not always this way. I was not. I was very much in the loop with a lot of stuff that, thank goodness, I'm not anymore. We never lost power for any other eclipse, probably fueling climate change thing too. I don't know. Yeah. Would have to get with Scotty's Backyard Barbecue from Wisconsin also. Yeah, definitely. Scotty's awesome. Yeah, that was the other thing I saw. This was a great cartoon. So I'm a meme guy. I love memes that make me laugh. And I obviously like to laugh because I laugh all the time in videos. And I honestly laugh this much. So the first one was lunar eclipse, right? And basically it was the moon, the earth, and the sun. And the next one was solar eclipse, in which case it was the earth, the moon, and the sun. And the last one was apocalypse, and it was the earth, the sun, and the moon. Jonathan Davis, what's happening? Great to see you. If y'all remember the rubbish about changing centuries, Y2K, great example right here. I got trouble time during the outrageous theories, just horrid that people want. I know. And the Y2K thing was another one of those. We've put a man on the moon multiple times. We have computers that will do more now in a cell phone than the computers at NASA that were used to put the man on the moon. But for some reason, when he changed from 1999 to 2000, all computers were going to crash. Yeah, it's a paranoia thing. Jackeries are awesome. Jackeries are a nice system, Mike. Jackeries are a good one. They've been around for a while, and that's one of the things that I look for in a lot of stuff like that too, is how long has the company been around and what kind of reviews do they have? And Jackery's been around for a long time. They have very good reviews. So grateful for this live positive vibes. Yeah, you know what? And I don't get into that. There's a lot of channels that I have followed in the past that, let's not lie, right? If you want to go down that road, you're going to get a ton of views. But I don't believe it. And if I don't believe it, I can't do it. So I'm happy being happy. And if I can make somebody else happy, that makes me happier. Sean, have you purchased the tile for the floor for your wood stove? No. So here's the story on that. It's kind of frustrating. Marketplace, again, For those that don't know, I do a lot of purchasing for everything that I do here on Facebook Marketplace, because the old saying, another person's junk is another person's is one man's junk is another man's treasure, is true. I found a lot of stuff. Like the most of the insulation on the walls in this cabin came off a Marketplace for half the price that it would have cost me to buy it from the orange store. So there's a person that has the tile that I want on Marketplace. So I sent her an email and I said, hey, look, I need X amount of boxes of that tile that you have there. It's 12 by 12 tile. So I never got a response back. So, but 2 weeks later, the ad's still up. I sent another message and I said, hey, just touching bases with you again. Do you have the tile? Do you want to sell the tile? And then their response was, well, I got somebody coming over to get it tomorrow. I'll let you know if I have anything left. Well, guess what? The ad's still up. Never contacted me back. Frustrates the heck out of me when people do this kind of stuff. So I'm probably just going to go buy it. I talked to a local tile company here, Floors Unlimited. They're a local company. Awesome, awesome people. So if you're going to have work done on floors up here, by all means, don't hesitate to talk to them, because they're super great folks. And they're down off of Bridge Access. Just really nice people. Anyway, I went and talked to them to get the tile that I wanted. It's going to cost me like $16 a square foot with a minimum order and a 6-week lag time. And I'm like, so I'm just going to wait. I might change out what I'm going to do on the floor, because I want to get that done. Definitely. I have to get that done definitely this summer before winter hits, because the wood stove is going to be installed. I'm not moving it back and forth. So yeah, don't have the tile yet for the wood stove. That's not the problem as well. And one dog that will eat it. Yeah, true. Dogs do eat. Dogs do eat. They will. Yeah. If you're talking about firewood, they will chew on that. I got my pure tung oil from Lee Valley. I've used similar tung oil finish as yours. I liked it. I was thinking about getting the mineral oils. Beeswax, yeah. No, for the countertop, so you can do beeswax. So I didn't do beeswax because a lot of my personal history and background is in baking. And I grew up in a bakery. And in the bakeries, we had wooden benches. So the only thing we ever did was when the wooden bench was new, we did the mineral oil treatment to it, right? And then once every 3 to 6 months, you take boiling water and pour it across the top, and it would draw out all the garbage. Where are we at here? I'll hide that one. It would draw out all the garbage from that would permeate into the wood. It'd draw all that out, and then we'd re-oil it again. But when I re-oil it the second time, I would either use, the working time, I'd either use cottonseed oil or olive oil, because we were constantly working on it, washing it and cleaning it out. So I didn't have to worry about the oil going rancid. I've never used beeswax on a butcher block counter, ever. Oh, scrolling down here. Trudy, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, when Uncle Walter was and it was different then. I mean, news has always been, here's our side of the story. It's never been both sides of the story. This is our side of the story. And when everybody's going in the same direction, that's fine. Now news has become, this is our side of the story, and that's why these guys are wrong. And this is our side of the story, and that's why these guys are wrong. But it's become divisive. And when I was a kid growing up, I don't remember it being divisive. I remember it being, here's the news. And you would have some bad things on there, maybe one bad story a night, and you'd have a bunch of good stories. And I just don't see the good stories anymore. Well, I don't watch the news anymore, but even before I quit watching it, I just didn't see the good stories anymore. And I'm like, I'm done with this. There's enough negativity going on. Yeah, right, John? And I have brothers that will sit there and glue themselves to the TV when the news is on, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, then you do that. You do you, I'll do me. I'm not going to attack somebody for that. I don't attack anybody for like I said, for that kind of stuff, but I'm not doing it anymore. Alaska, welcome. Glad to see you. I stopped watching news 4 years ago and so much happier, right? Exactly. And there are, like, I'll read news articles on occasion. I'll see something that pops up and I'll go, wait a minute, I got to read some more about this. And then I'll dig a little deeper and find out that these guys weren't telling all the truth and these guys weren't telling all the truth. And most of the time the truth is somewhere in the middle. And you could read the story and you could say, hey, that don't sound right. But I think a lot of people get caught up in the now, in the instant. Um, and I'm a very patient person. I'm more patient now in my life than I've ever been. Obviously, I'm still living in a house that doesn't have anything on the walls yet, but it's got its own place, right? That is actually the one time I started watching it again for a little bit, and I would watch it like once a week to see where they're going with it because I knew where it was going. I could tell where it was going, and I just wanted to see how they would get there. And then I was like, okay, I saw what I needed to see. I'm done. So sad that people are so frightened. I know, and that's a big issue. My kids. I've said it before. I started the YouTube channel so that my kids could see what their dad was doing in Alaska. Um, I honestly think that my kids have gotten more out of my YouTube channel than I have, uh, because I said I was going to do something. I didn't know how to do it. I taught myself how to do it, and it's done. And I think the more people that see success like that, in your personal life, in your private life, in your working life and professional life, the more they start to believe they can do it too. And so if I could convince one person through this whole YouTube thing that they can do something that they've always wanted to do, I'm completely a success, and that makes me completely happy. Get my news from Facebook. It's fun. Jolie, welcome. Super glad to be able to tune in. Love the. I know, mom was awesome. I miss mom. I miss mom every day. Smiley, there's a creator on here that needs a kick in the butt, in my opinion. Oh, okay, don't know who that one would be, but Karen, welcome. You made it. Chickens are doing fantastic. Black beauties are doing awesome. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full 18 packs of eggs. I pulled 42 eggs out of the coop the other day. And then I've got another one that's almost full. They're laying like mad. So I just started selling eggs again today. It was awesome. First customer of the year. I got more eggs already sold for next Friday. So yeah, chickens are paying for their own feed again. Big Bear Crispy, how are you from North Pole? Awesome. From Big Bear Lake in California. Alaska is our new home now. Wondering why it took us so. I'm telling you, man. And Big Bear Lake in California is gorgeous. From Tuolumne County, from Sonora, California, just north of Yosemite. Um, Alaska is the most incredible place in the world. I try to explain to people that, and if you're a Californian, you'll get this. Alaska makes Yosemite National Park look like Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. That's for anybody from California that knows the three parks I was just, the two parks I was just talking about. They'll be like, and then they get here and they go, oh yeah, you're right. Christine, welcome. Good to see you. Scroll through here. You think the Earth is not flat? Oh no, NASA got to me. And I think we landed on the moon too. Oh, that's true, right? Besides the TVs out there, I have a 32-inch monitor right here. So when I edit video, I can kind of look at it in a bigger picture and make sure everything's going to look good. Because a lot of people watch videos on their TV. To me, that is a massive, massive monitor. I'm in Walmart the other day, and there's 70-something inch TVs. I'm like, I couldn't even put that on my wall. That'd be crazy. Right? Exactly, Jay. Exactly. Spread joy, not fear, man. Make somebody smile. I say good morning. I work at a grocery store, and I work Monday through Friday, and I work from 4 o'clock in the morning till noon. And you cannot get anywhere near my aisle while I'm working without getting a good morning and a smile from me every single day. And you would not believe the number of people who have come back to me later on in that shopping trip and said, I needed that. And it's so easy to do. It is so much easier to spread joy than fear. I have to, yeah. And I don't mind, I don't mind a little clickbait here and there, right? When somebody posts something on there, and you look at it and you go, that can't be real. That's got to be something. And it's kind of real, but they just did it to get you to click on the video. I don't mind that every once in a while. But man, when it's always end of the world for this, end of the world for that, and we may not survive, and tomorrow may be the last. I'm like, come on, man. I got I got to worry about whether or not I'm going to get my garden in. I'm not worried about what's happening tomorrow. I need to worry about when the snow thaws and I can get the ground broken up. I'll be here until how long have we been live for right now? Oh shoot, 54 minutes. I got about 10 minutes left. Mike, I just want to say hi and hope all's good with you. I'll be going out for Friday's video. Nice, right? Yeah, it definitely. Awesome to see you, Mike. Friday video was, and it's going to be shorter than I've been doing. I've been throwing some long ones out there, and they've been kind of all over the place. And I need to get more focused. And I will be, as I say that, I'm already knowing this next video is not going to be that focused. But it's frustrating to do this when you don't feel good either, and try and make sure you got enough content to be able to put a video together. I hate dealing with people on marketplace, but at the same time, you can get really good deals, right? Exactly. You can get super, super good deals. Just picked up a 210 gallon water tank in Soldado for $150. That's nice, man. Anytime you can get water storage for less than $1 a gallon is a great deal. Scott at Hester's Garage, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. You can, Destiny. You can rate buyers. I do that. And a lot of times before I even make an offer on something, I will look and see what their rating is and see what the comments are on the buyer. But you can rate them unless they've changed it. But I just got an offer today, or I just got a notification today to rate the person with the batteries that I'm looking at. And I won't rate somebody if I haven't purchased something from them unless I've had a really bad experience. But I think you can. Oh, now see that? Now all of a sudden I'm behind. So I'm going to try and get caught up. Joseph, what's up, and brother? Good to see you. WrestleMania, and you're freezing your butt off. Will your cabinets have a faceboard with a few inches reveal all the way around with an inset door? Or are you putting a drawer above? Okay, so the cabinets will not have a face frame at all. So I went with the European style because I like how clean they look when they're done. So basically, when you open the doors, the door covers the trim, not the trim, but the actual cabinet carcass itself. So when you open that door up, there's nothing there but the cabinet. It's just wide open. So they're not inset doors; they're overlay doors. So they go like here's the edge of the plywood. They butt up right against the edge of the plywood, and then they're going to be European hinges, which are the ones with where you gouge the hole out of the door and then connect it here, and they'll be soft close, so they'll close on their own. And drawers, I'm only going to put next to where my stove's going to be. So I'm going to have a rack of drawers next to where the stove's going to be. And then other than that, I'll probably have like a lot of different kitchen stuff that I use mounted on the counters or hung on the walls above the counters. Yeah, I don't watch Dr. Phil. I don't watch Dr. Phil. Angie, the good stories on the news where the weatherman says the sun is going to shine or it's going to be clear and the lights are out, right? Exactly. And it's even a great story if they're right that day. I think I missed something here. Roll it like a cinnamon roll and spread sauce on it while you roll it. I think I missed something there, Thomas. So happy to hear that. The kids are good. I know. It's awesome, man. It's so cool. Mike, I don't have a P.O. box, but if you email me, I'll give you my mailing address, which is not at my physical property. It's about 1.5 miles away from my house. But I never got a P.O. box because I bought a mailbox. So that mailbox that you see me stopping at on occasion, I actually own my own box in there. So even if I were to move to Albuquerque, New Mexico next week, I would still own that box for as long as I wanted to. Susan, welcome. Good to see you. The creator was a guest on Sean, you know whose channel. I don't know if I saw that. Sometimes he can go, if you're talking about Sean James, sometimes he can go down a tangent. But it's not the core of his channel, which to me is, as long as it's not the core of your channel, if you're just going to go off on that tangent every once in a while, I don't have a problem with that. Okay, now I got to get caught up here. We got to get serious. Local egg farmers in the area of Tennessee are always sold out of their eggs. I think I need to. Right, Jonathan? We got plenty of eggs here in Alaska. I do too, Jillian. I remember that too. One small step for man, one giant step for mankind. Cal's Cabin's awesome. That kid's cool, man. And Bush Radical, I've done some stuff that he's done. I like it. Definitely get in touch with me, John. Definitely get in touch with me. Yeah, we'll make a connection. Exactly. It takes nothing. Smiley's saying that's amazing. Say hello to one person can be a wonderful gesture. It takes nothing to be kind. It takes nothing to be kind. Now, if someone's a jerk and I say good morning to them and they, that's fine. Guess what? Next time I see them, I'm saying good morning again. I've had a customer that was like the scourge of the store that I've worked in now for 11 years, 12 years. Nobody could ever make that customer happy. And now when that customer comes in the store, they ask for me. Right? Because I'm going to take care of them. Because they can chat with me for a couple of minutes about their personal life that may not be going great. And I'm going to nod my head and they just need somebody to listen to them. It costs nothing to be nice. It costs nothing. I can be a jerk too, but you have to bring that out of me. Yep. I think it's best to live one's life, be happy, ignore the drama, die with a smile on your face, and a bagel in one's hand. I like me a good bagel. I do like me a good bagel. Hey, anytime, man. Anytime. Sarah Boss, how are you today? I saw you were on. Want to jump in and say hello? Hello to you as well. Almost got down to the bottom. Nice. Right, Smiley? That's it. The Irish or I think the Canadians learned how to be nice from the Irish. There's a lot of Irish in Canada too. But the Irish people are kind people. They really are. I don't know. I just think that when I grew up, and I'll be 62 years old this year, but when I grew up as a kid, we were taught be generous, be kind, be polite. Yes, sir, no, sir. I go through a drive-through and they go to take my order, and if it's a woman behind there, and I can tell, I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I don't care if she's 15. She gets my respect, and respect given is always respect you get back. In my life experience, I like it. I like it. Mark has a serious point here. A bagel in one's hand is just a missed opportunity. Jess, I'm currently trying to help Cody write a presentation on moon phases and Irish mythology. Right? Nice. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. I'll be live again next Sunday, Lord willing. And, that hopefully the world doesn't end tomorrow. If the world does not end tomorrow, Sean will be live the following Sunday. You guys have a fantastic week. As always, it's a wonderful to hang out with you. Greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your kind words on everything that I'm doing. Love hanging out with you here on the live on Sunday. We only have probably the rest of this month to go, and then it's going to be an issue trying to get a decent enough connection. But I'll try and keep you on the loop anyway. I'm Sean in Alaska. Have a fantastic day. We shall talk to you all later on. I am out of here. See ya. Bye.